live once again with the general, man. We tapping in on this incident in Chicago, Grant Park, Chicago, where Asian man sets fire to a cross, had a burning cross, Grant Park, Chicago. And I come straight out because I ain't heard nobody say it. Maybe they have, but it's obvious that they mad at the blackout, the boycott, and so he takes a symbol that has been historically used against black people, the burning of crosses in their front yard, you know what I'm saying, in front of black churches and anywhere where black people congregate. And so the Asian sat up there lying, couldn't get the lie together, but he was charged with a hate crime. He was charged with a hate crime, and this just show that when they want to attack you, they go to historical precedents. That's how he wanted to let us know this is, and that they are vibing on that same frequency as the Klan, vibing on that. See, they got that hate. They got that even if they don't show it, initially, but when you show them, that you no longer playing with them, you gonna boycott, and that anger start to fester because they know one thing. Even though they say they don't need you, they need you. Even if the motherfucker that said he don't need you, they need you. The other motherfuckers do. You see what I'm saying? And so it's causing a dilemma because here now you got somebody who you think you above and they making your ass bend the knee because whatever you selling, whether it's hair products and all of that, white people don't want that. They don't need them kind of product. So you got a store full of goddamn products for black people, and then black people not coming in there and buying that shit. Now you can close down shop and you can go out there and try selling them something now. But they not gonna let that many of y'all move out there. They not gonna let that many of y'all move out and think you gonna take over. So when America allows a lot of these, and this is what we got to be clear about. This is a business. They don't just come over here and get to choose where they go. They let them know, well, this is gonna be your area of operation. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna give you a voucher, we're gonna give you this, that, and the third, or whatever, but that shit only work for over here. You see, everything got rules and regulations when you come into the country. You don't come in here and do what you want to. You don't get to do that when you from the country. It's always rules and regulations. And so many of them are offered an opportunity to come to the black community. That's why you see the majority, whether they Asian, whether they Arab, you see, they take over the black community. That's the first place that they go. They go to the black community. And so in their arrogance, they believe that, they bigger than us, that they have more power than us. They have more prestige than us. But then when you show them by, keeping your dollar in your pocket, you know what I'm saying? That makes them, have to bend the knee, and that hurt them. Because, and they don't know no way to act other than this act of terrorism that this man committed, because he understands that this opens up a historical wound, a lot of painful wounds for black people, because we know what happened during the times in which these cross. So when you look at all what's going on, you see a lot of the criminal justice system lynching a lot of black people. You know what I'm saying? That Carmelo Anthony, the Cyrus, Carmack Belton, all the names that go on and on and on and on and on. You see, and it's always first to justify why it was done to us. Not that we're innocent. It's always you guilty until proven guilty. You're not innocent and you're guilty until proven guilty. You see what I'm saying? And so this agent set this, and that's what it was for. Because soon as people see the cross, they gonna think the clan. I mean, that's the symbol. That's where it comes, clan. And what the clan primary emphasis was terrorizing black people. You see, that was their primary emphasis, even though they had, immigrants, and that was the primary emphasis. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at even lynchings, yes, they lynched other people, but the majority of people that they lynched was black. Period. Just deal with that. The majority of the people that was lynched was black. So, this Asian wanted to open up a deep wound in our people. So this show you how they respond to this type of, this boycott, the blackout. This is how they respond. So he gonna respond back and say, you know what? This is what we think about you. You see, we agree with what, we agree. We in honor of what happened to y'all when they was burning. This is what they think about you. You see, and so they really, you done fucked up. Y'all fucking up. And some of them is tapping out. You know what I'm saying? They tapping out. They saying, you know what? We was we've been living in a dream. That we've been living in this dream that we are above black people and shit. But the reality is we need them. But the reality is we don't need them to need us. We need to move on. We didn't fed a lot of, we didn't fed a lot of people. We didn't fed a lot of people. This the Last Supper. You know what I'm saying? Last Supper, it ain't about no getting back with once, and sometimes this is how this is the shift. This is how the shift happens. You know what I'm saying? It's really not a boycott. It's coming back into self. It's doing what you should have been doing in the beginning. Because when you say you boycotting somebody, that sounds like it's a possibility that you might start back spending that kind of money, which should not happen. So it's really not a boycott. It's a shift. It's a shift that's happening where we getting back on track what we need to have been doing in the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? They used to us taking our money and giving, which they do not spend nowhere near the money that it ain't even close. We spending hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars in certain instances in particular industries, and I can't see what the fuck they spending with us. What is they spending with us? For, how much you think we spending with the hair care industry? The Chinese, and the Asians, what they, and all of that, the nails and all of that too. Regardless, I don't give a goddamn. If it ain't no balance, I don't give a fuck. If there's a balance, and so if black women is spending all that money with them, how much is they spending with you? You know what I'm saying? How much is they spending with you? If you invest in them, they should invest in you. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all opening up business, you should see as many Asians coming in your black business as you go in theirs. If that's not happening, then that's an uneven relationship, especially in a time where economy is so needed. The balancing and the dollar, we need to hold on to these dollars. We can't be it's just flowing out. I could see if it was reciprocal. It flow out, some flow in, some flow out, some flow in, some flow out. So you got it's an even trade. Ain't no even trade. So we can't have no relationship with the money just flowing out. I don't give a fuck what it is. You can't have that don't make no sense. That's not business correct. Business correct. You see what I'm saying? Wait, that don't make no goddamn sense. You see? And so this China man didn't got a fucking hate crime. Like, you dummy. But you know what? I thank him for showing us how far, you know what I'm saying, they willing to go. Yeah, I'm really glad that, that's necessary. You know, gonna go deep. They're gonna go deep and put that out there. You know what I'm saying? And I see the shit that they putting up in their stores. Man, Asians is racist as fuck. They is. They is. They just as racist. You know what I'm saying? Just as racist. The world is racist and it's really never gonna change. And the reality is all of this trying to intermingle is not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. You see what I'm saying? It's not gonna fucking work. It could be little instances where even if just taking a trip, for some people it could be all right. For some people it could be all wrong. But now that all of the reality is surfacing, it's gonna be dangerous to leave and go somewhere, and it's like the world is really just coming out and saying how they feel about each other. And I think that's real. It should happen. Let people know how you really feel. And I believe we should just go on and segregate into our own communities, build up. And if people feel they want to go somewhere and interact, I guess that's possible. That could be possible. People could travel. I believe people can travel and shit. But ultimately, I think people need to stay in their own communities, build up their own communities. And if there is a possibility that people could travel, because I know people want to see the world and shit, just visit and enjoy a different scene, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. Some people would like to go to school and shit, and that's okay. But ultimately, all of that intermingling on a grand scale, it's over with. I don't want to, because I know people like to see the world. I know a lot of people like to see the world. It's certain shit I would like to see because I know our people have historically been in all these areas. And so you might want to go see some ancient temples and some things like that, enjoy a vacation somewhere. And I can understand that too. But ultimately, on a grand scale, the gig is up. There will be no, mass movement of people staying any other place other than their own community. And that's the way it should be. It should be. It shouldn't be no other way. Because motherfuckers have shown that they can't even exist with each other as a unit, as their own people. And I believe a lot of this shit has come, you know, some existed before the mingling with other races, but it sure has compounded on top of a lot of shit that been going on amongst our own people. It has totally compounded on top of that, making that shit 1,000 times worse. We got to wake up. We got to wake up. So the Asian man was charged with a hate crime, which he should have. But look at how they think about you. They know that this is what they think about you. They go and try to open up deep wounds. You see, that's what they think about you. I appreciate y'all, family. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all click my link down in the video description. Patreon. Get over there, support the general, man. I got tons of information over there that you're gonna love. Check me out. See you in a minute. Black Pop.